Good morning. How are you doing? Has anyone been outside? It's crazy windy. Good morning. How's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. I am having some camera issues, so just a heads up.
It looks like everybody's having a camera issue because mine is the only one on. There we go. Thanks, Matt. I would love to see your faces. I know, Josh, I won't be able to see yours. It's okay.
I am very sad about that.
I know. Okay, what is happening with the wind outside? Has anyone noticed?
I haven't looked outside my room since I woke up, so I have no idea what the outside world looks like. Is it windy?
Great. It is supposed to be like crazy, like maybe 30-mile-an-hour winds today.
30? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And outside, like I can just hear how crazy it is. It's insane. Okay. So let's see who I have. All right. So today is We Share Wednesday, and I'm sharing that it's windy outside. That is my sharing with you. So what else you got? What else is going on? Anything? Hey, I went through the test. Did you notice?
Yeah, yes, I was very happy to see that. My grade improved significantly after.
Yeah, see, when you show me your work, then I can give you credit, right?
Can I ask what did I enter wrong before? Like that, if you remember, that changed.
Did you look at your written work? Because I wrote all over that paper.
I kept seeing the notification for annotations, but I was watching movies, so I didn't look at that. So
if you look at that, I wrote all over your written work so you could see what you were doing right and what you were doing wrong.
Oh, okay. I'll look at that then.
Yeah, and then if you still can't figure it out, just let me know. All right, so we had a couple perfect scores. Yeah, Tashina, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I checked my written work, but there wasn't anything written on it. I was trying to figure out.
Wait, are you sure? Are you positive? Did you click on, like, see your original? I can't remember what you have to click on. Because, like, I write on it like it's paper. I will look at it right now.
Get back to you.
Let me look at it right now and see. I think I made a video on how to see your written feedback. So let me look, because it's a little trickier than you might imagine it's supposed to be. So have you ever seen written feedback on anything from me before?
Yes, ma'am.
You have, so you know how to do it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna look at yours right now and make sure. My iPad sometimes pretends it saves things and then it really doesn't. So let me look. Oh yeah, I wrote on yours.
I think Okay, sometimes I think I did something the right way and sometimes I didn't. So,
Yeah,
so
I
every
wrote
time I
on
have to
yours.
go back.
Yeah, I wrote on yours, try it again, and then I'll find that video again too. And then when we put you in breakout rooms, I can always pull you in a private breakout room and I can share my screen with you so you can see it. Okay.
Okay,
All
thank
right. So what else do we want to share? Oh, I should probably get in here with my iPad, shouldn't I? Since my iPad's just sitting here,
I'm in the
not
stock.
being connected. What's going on?
I'm in the stock market now. I
Oh,
downloaded Robinhood and I have no idea what I'm doing, but I put 15 bucks in Dogecoin and we're gonna ride the rocket ship and take it to victory. So
all right. As long as you don't go crazy and invest anymore, right?
no, I know I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna like be a compulsive gambler and put all of my like savings in there. So.
Right. I would say just be
Have a fun
aware of what
experiment.
you're doing.
Yeah,
Right?
it's just like a fun experiment thing.
Nice. Do you know anybody else who's doing it too?
All my friends, we have a group chat called Group Machine Investing, and so we're all like coordinating and stuff. It's pretty fun.
Nice. Oh, okay. So today's quote, am I sharing my screen now? Yeah. If you understand compound interest, you basically understand the universe. There you go. So feel good as soon as you're done. Okay, look at this cute alligator. Yes, do you love it? Yes. Okay, so who else wants to share something? Matt's in the stock market now. He is Robinhood. Oh, look at the baby. She's gotten so big. Is that a smile? Are you going to smile for us, cutie pie?
She's
No,
cry.
that's a cry. Thank you. Well, you're welcome. You're welcome, Tashina. That was just for you. Okay, so what else do we have going on? What else is up? Nothing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, seriously, you're not going to share
Sure, there's
anything with
something in
me?
there,
What
sure.
is happening? A couple of you still have your cameras off. I know Josh has a camera issue, so that's not to you, Josh. All right, well, I guess we'll just keep going. So like we were talking about, I did grade those tests, and I changed, most of your grades changed for the better, right? You should be able to see my feedback. If you can't, let me know. You can always come and visit me. I sent out some emails yesterday. I've been updating grades. So the only thing I haven't graded, I think, so far is your vehicle project. Okay, so, but I will be grading those. All right. So we're going to do a warm up. I do have a worksheet with a warm up and then 2 problems. I don't care if you use it or not, but if you want it, you can. Okay. Otherwise, I'll just put it up on the screen. Okay.
It's still in the next.
So if you look at in the warm up, it says, how much money will you need to invest now in order to have $5,000 in 5 years at an interest rate of 2% compounded annually? And it says round to the nearest cent. So I put this problem in the chat if you want it. Does anyone want the formula sheet or the Desmos calculator in the chat? I can put those in the chat too if you need them. Otherwise, when you have an answer, please direct message me your answer to this. Or if you have a question, direct message me your question, okay? Don't forget to send me the answer when you have it. And if you have a question, send me your question. It's a little quiet out there.
I just have a quick question. When it says it's compounded annually, that just means one, right? Okay.
Yep, N is 1 then. Good job. Okay, I'm getting a few correct answers coming in. I'm having a few incorrect answers coming in because you're using the wrong formula. So make sure, are you looking for A or are you looking for P? Yeah, so think about that. All right, I'm gonna give you about 1 more minute because some people were still using the wrong formula, and then we'll talk it over. All right, I still don't have some answers from people, but I'm a little worried that you're stuck. Are you stuck? Okay, let's talk through it. So it says, how much money will you need to invest now? As soon as you read this, invest now, you should know, oh, I'm looking for my principal because that's what I put in at the beginning. So the principal is what I'm looking for. Now, it says I want $5,000 in 5 years. So I think the T part is pretty easy. It's just 5 years. And since it's in years, I'm just going to leave it 5, right? The $5,000, what letter must that be in our formulas?
R? No.
No, the $5,000, it's the future. Yeah, so it's the amount. So the amount is $5,000. Remember, you have 2 formulas to choose from on your formula sheet. Let me see. I think I put the formula sheet in the chat. Did I? Maybe I just put it to Matt. But here's the formula sheet for everyone, just in case. And the reason I'm doing this is because then it's easier for me to pull it up. Okay. So let me show it to you. Because when you look at the formula sheet, that's the part that can be overwhelming, right? So the formula sheet looks like this. First, you have to decide, do I have simple interest or compound interest? Well, when you read a word of compounded in the problem, you know it's compound interest. Don't use simple interest, okay? So, hey, where did my formula go?
I was just gonna ask. There
That
was
should not be blank right there.
no, the other
why
ones
it is?
you gave us were not blank.
Well, it wasn't blank 5 minutes ago, so yeah, it's not blank right on mine. So let me click again, see if it's just loading still. Weird. Okay, I'll just share this other screen. It's okay. We can make it work. Okay, so there's the two formulas you have to choose from. Compound interest, it's either A equals or P equals. Well, remember, since we knew that P was what we didn't know, that's the formula we need. So we want the one that says P equals. So it says P equals A divided by 1 plus R over N to the N times T power. So do you see how that's the first step, is figuring out which formula to use, right? And I know some of you have been using the TVM solver already. That's okay, or that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay. Okay. So that's the formula we want to use. And then it says 2%. So that must be my R. R is 2%, which as a decimal is 0.02. And it says compounded annually. Now, remember, this value in our equation, that is N, that's the number of times it compounds. So in 1 year. So how many times does it compound in 1 year if it's annually? Just one, right? Does that make sense? If you're having an annual sale, you don't have it more than once a year. Although I feel like some businesses put that sign out more than once a year. Have you noticed that? Yeah, that bothers me. Okay, so do you see how I dissected the problem? That's what you need to learn how to do, right? Some of you are still working on that, yeah? Some of you are getting better. Some of you just want it to be just like the problem you just saw. That does not happen, right? So you have to be real careful. I want you to think on every single problem. I know, I'm asking a lot, right? It's true. Yeah, you have to think on every single one. So now plug this into your calculators and you should get that value of $4,528. And then it had 654049 on my calculator. So we would just round it to $4,528.65. Check, for those of you that didn't send me that answer correctly, put it in your calculators right now or in Desmos right now and make sure you get that. Yeah, so if we go to Desmos, let's go here, and I'll just clear this. So I'm going to put in 5,000, right, divided by 1 plus 0.02 divided by 1. And then I'm going to arrow over because, oh, I should have put parentheses around this, huh? There we go. Desmos is so nice. It's so forgiving. I really appreciate it because normally on my calculator, I'd have to arrow all the way over to the beginning and start my parentheses, but I didn't have to. And then I'm going to hit that A to the B button, and I'm going to put in parentheses 1 times 5. Oh, maybe it is a little confused. Hold on. Why did it not help it? Hold on. 5,000 divided by, oh, I know why, because I typed it in wrong. 0.02 divided by 1. My exponent is only on my denominator. 1 times 5. There we go. So that whole thing is in the denominator. That's why it's in parentheses. Does that help you, Rookie? Is that the mistake you were making too? Yeah, it's easy to do. All right, so anyone have a question how to get that on your calculator? Matt, you got it? Danessa, you're good? Lily? Debbie?
I don't know. I don't know what's different. Oh, it needs to be on the outside. Okay, never mind. I'll fix it.
Okay. Yeah, like let's take the time to make sure we know how to do it. Judith, you good?
Yeah, I just was having trouble with the formulas.
Okay, but now that I gave you the formula, it's working in your calculator. You got the same answer?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Matt, is it better now? Okay, good. So the hard part is making sense of the problem and really dissecting it. So we had formulas, and I put that formula sheet in there already, but you probably noticed on the mini lesson that they showed you something on it's called a TVM solver, a time value of money solver, yeah? And if you have a calculator like this, it has a time value money solver in it, right? V, your Casio probably has it in it too. Have you found it? Okay, good. Excellent. So if you don't have this, it's okay. There's an app that we made so you could use this if you wanted to. So I'll put the app in the chat for you. And today what we're going to do is we're just doing more compound interest problems, but I'm going to show you how to do them on the TVM solver. If you like the formulas better, you can use the formulas. I don't care what you use, either TVM or the formulas. It's up to you. Some people don't know yet which one they like after today, and so they kind of do both, or they may feel comfortable, and that might change before you take the quiz, okay? Or if you know both ways, I think TVM is faster, and then you could double check with your formula if you have time for that on the quiz, okay? And if you notice on the formula sheet, it has some info. So it tells you, let me see if it's on my formula sheet. I don't know where that went, why that's not showing up. But right here, it says calculator. That's if you're using this. It tells you how to get there. Hit apps, hit finance, hit TVM solver. V, yours is probably a little bit different. Then capital N is different than lowercase n. So capital N is lowercase n times t. And if you're using this, you can just put in the two numbers. Like you can just multiply them together right there. If you're using the TVM solver, you have to find that answer. It won't do it for you, as far as I can figure out. Then what's interesting, you put in your interest rate, which would be the same as R, but you're not putting it in as a decimal. You're putting it in just as the number. Okay, so that's the difference between these. And then PV is present value, and it's the same as principal. Okay, and then PMT would be if we have payments, but we're not going to have any payments until we do annuities or loans. Okay, so right now that's just going to be a 0. And then FV is future value. And FV means what is it going to be? That's the same as A. Okay, and then PY and CY are lowercase n, the number of times it compounds in a year. Now, I do have the app up on ours. And do you see how it kind of has all that information there for you? It says N equals number of compounding periods, I is annual interest rate as a percent, PV is present value, PMT is payment, FV is future value, all of those things. You see those? I'm going to reset this. I could just refresh it probably. All right. And then PY and ZY is the payments per year and the compounding periods per year. And for us, those will always match. Okay. So yesterday we did some problems in our breakout rooms, right? Maybe we just did them here. We might have just done them here with some compounding. And this was one of those problems. And it's on that worksheet that I already gave you. It says you deposit $300 in an account earning 5% interest compounded annually. How much will you have in the account in 10 years? So you can use the formula. It's not a problem. It'll work. But I'm going to show you right now how to do it on the TVM solver. Okay? So we're going to fill out these things together right here. So let's fill in, let's highlight the things we know. So you deposit $300. So where would that $300 go? In what letter? Zevi says PV. Very nice. Tashina says PV. Now, some people will put it in like this, negative $300. Yeah. Why would they put a negative there?
That's how much money you have to put in.
Yeah, because you have to pay it. Now, it's okay if you don't put in a negative. You'll just see what happens when you don't put in a negative. Okay. It's not going to be wrong. It's just going to be a negative answer instead of a positive answer. So just don't write your negative answer, right? Okay. So then we have 5% interest. What letter does that go by in this little key that I gave you right here?
The I.
Yeah, it's the I. And this is the difference between the TVM solver and the formulas. I don't change it to 0.05 like I do in my formula. I just put in 5. So some people like that better. Okay. Then it says compounded annually. So again, how many times is that in 1 year? Once. So I'm going to put in 1 for my PY and CY. Okay, that's 1. Now, it says, how much will I have in the account in 10 years? Now, remember, I told you that capital N is different than lowercase n. So capital N is lowercase n times t. So remember, lowercase n is 1 in this case because it's annually, and t is 10 because it's 10 years. So in this blank right here, I'm just going to put a 10 because 1 times 10 is 10. Okay. Now, it says, how much will I have in the account in 10 years? Well, that's what it's looking for right there. It's looking for FV, right? Or if we use the formulas, it's looking for A. Okay. So now we're going to put all of this in our TVM solver. So I'm going to go to my TVM solver and I'm going to put in 10 for N. I'm going to put in 5 for the interest. I'm going to put in, see if I can put in a negative 300 here if I'm smart enough to do that. Negative 300 here. I'm not changing payment. I'm not changing FV because that's what I'm looking for, but I'm changing PY and CY to 1. So do that on this app right now, even if you never plan on using this app again or on your calculators. Do it right now so we can make sure everybody understands how to do it. Is everybody okay so far? You put in N is 10. You put in I is 5. You put in 300 or negative 300. You payment 0. For FV, you just left it 0. And PY and ZY, you put in 1. Everybody okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So then you hit solve for the one you want. And the one we wanted was FV. So when you hit solve, it tells you the answer, $488, and then we have to use our rounding rule still. So it'll be $488.67. Did everybody get that on their TVM app? Everybody good? Is there anyone who did not get that? You guys good? All right, so here is what it looks like. I don't know why this says years down here. It's just because it was connected to that sentence. Sorry about that right here. Change it to black and I'll just get rid of that so you can't see it. So I showed you what it would look like on your TVM, or here it is with the formula. We would use the formula for A and we would plug everything in. It doesn't matter which way I do it. I'll get the same answer. Yeah. Okay. Now, when you're taking the quiz or doing your homework or your test, I want you to show me whatever you're doing. So if you're using TVM, you will show me this right here. If you're using the formula, you will show me this right here. I don't care which one you use, but I still need to see your work, right? Because that's how I'm going to identify if you know what's going on. Okay, now there's one last example, and this one's different, okay? So this one says, how much would you need to deposit in an account in order to have $2,500 in the account in 5 years if you're getting 2.5% interest compounded monthly? So that's going to change things, right? I don't care if you use the formula, but right now I want you to try to figure out if you can fill in all these blanks for the TVM, okay? So try that. When you get your answer, direct message me your answer, okay? And we'll see if you're right. If you don't understand what you're doing, send me a message that you don't understand. Oh my gosh, some of you are so fast. Quick Draw McGraw already sent me one. It's okay. You are correct. The person who sent me their answer is correct. Okay, so good job. Okay, so take your time, do it. Send me a message if you need help. Oh, Tashina, I'm so happy you said that. So if you're on the calculator, what you have to do, I'm going to show you on your formula sheet. Do you see at the very bottom right here, it says, put your cursor on the one you're trying to find and hit alpha and enter. If you do that, it should give you the answer. So if you're on a TI 83 or 84, if you hit alpha, enter, and then it should give you the answer. Thank you for asking that. V correct, and Lee, you're correct. Okay, so I'm going to go over this because I keep getting the same answer from several people that is not correct. And I'm not sure what you're putting in. So I'm going to try to fix that. Rookie, yes, you are correct. Okay, so let's talk through this. So, and I'm just going to call on random people. So Matt, what did you put for capital N?
Well, at first I put 5 in there.
Okay,
Is that right?
so you need 5 for it, but you need to put in 5 times how many times that's compounded per year. So what are you going to put in there?
So like 5 times 12 because of the month.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
So you would put in 5 times 12 or 60. How many of you, that's where you made your mistake? Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Several of you, that's where you made your mistake. So remember, capital N is lowercase n times t. So you have to do the number of times it's compounded, which in this case it's 12, times the number of years, which in this case is 5. So capital N is 60. The nice thing is if you're using a calculator like probably Rookie and V and Sheena are, you can just put in 12 times 5, right? You don't have to put in 60. But you do have to remember to use 12 and 5, right? Okay, so good. I'm glad we found the first mistake. So make notes to yourself on how you won't do that again. Now, what did you put for I? Lily, what did you put for I?
2.5.
Perfect, 2.5. And you put it in just like that, right? You don't change it to a decimal, just leave it 2.5, okay? So some of you might have been making a mistake there. So what do you put for PV? What do you put for PV? Danessa, what do you put for PV?
I wasn't sure whether to put like negative 2,500 or positive 2,500.
So does 2,500 go there? Is that what we have to start with? No, we don't have that to start with. This is actually what we're looking for. We don't know what this is. So we're just going to leave it 0 or whatever's in there, right? Just leave it 0. So, and that's where some of you made the mistake, right? Am I right? Yeah, a lot of you made that mistake too. So be real careful. And then future value, that's where we put the 2,500 because it says that's what we'll have in our account in 5 years. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, and what did you put in for PY and CY? You did, what would you put in for PY and CY?
I'm not 100% sure, but I know that it has to do with the time, right? So like compounded monthly.
Yeah. So it has to do with
Like-
that compounded monthly. So if it's compounded monthly, how many times a year does it happen?
Twice, I think.
How many months are in a year?
12 months.
So that's it. When it says compounded monthly, you put in 12.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So put in 12 if it says compounded monthly. Is everybody better now? Now, if you put all that in and you click the solve button for PV, now you should get this value, $2,206.53. Okay. Everybody check, make sure you can get it. Matt, make sure you can get that. Lily, you did. Josh, Lee, Danessa, Zach. Did you guys figure out what you were doing wrong?
Yeah, I just did multiply 5 times 12, and that was my only mistake.
Okay, good, good.
Ma'am, did I get it right after I sent it to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Did everybody get it on their calculator? You did?
So the P/Y, I understood that that's the 12, and then the C or Y. Can you explain that one more time?
Which one?
C.
These two will always be the same.
Oh, okay.
Those two will always be the same. And if you look in the app, when I go to the app, it'll change it for us. So if I put in 60, and then I put in 2.5, And then I put in 0 here because I don't know that. I put in 2,500 here. And then as soon as I go like this and I change it to 12, do you see it changes both of them? So you don't have to worry about it. It'll change both of them. And so it's the payments per year or the compounding periods per year, which in our case will be the same. So then after you do it, then you push that solve right there. And it gives you that $2,206. And then we have to round it to 53 cents, right? Everybody okay? Okay, now we could have used the formula, right? And some of you are like, why is she confusing me with this, right? It's okay. If you like the formula, pretend I wasn't talking. Just go ahead and use the formula. Here's the formula right here. You'll get the same answer. I don't care. Whichever you find easier. And you might be like, I don't know what I find easier. Well, just sounds like you have to practice and decide, right? So see which makes more sense to you. Okay? So any questions on that? That's the reason I did this in 2 days. So then you could see, okay, here's the formula day. Now here's the TVM solver, and then use whatever you want. I don't care. Okay. Okay, so now I have 10 problems for you to do. They're on this new worksheet right here. I know. And you got plenty of time. I'm going to put you in breakout rooms, okay, to work on it. If you end up in a breakout room by yourself, don't worry about it. I did it on purpose because I'm probably coming to visit you or something weird like I put my iPad in your room. That's one of my favorite things to do. I do that on accident a lot. Okay, and some of you just like working alone. So, and we've talked about that you like to work by yourself. So no worries. Just when I get a lot of rooms, it's hard for me to get to all of them, right? So just be prepared. You can always send me a message that says, help me, yes? Okay, so. All right, so I think I have you all in rooms. Everybody have the worksheet? Now, on the worksheet, I have a space for all of the stuff if you use the TVM solver. You don't have to, though. That was just to help you, to make sure you write it down, okay? So it's up to you. If you just want to do the formulas, I'm fine with that too. Okay, so I'm going to give you some work time. Call me into your room if you need help. Welcome back. I didn't get to see everyone. I'm so sorry. It's okay. I spent more time with some than others. Make sure if you're ever in breakout rooms and you need my help, you click that ask for help button, okay? Because otherwise I just think you're cruising and I'm going through the rooms as fast as I can, right? But if nobody's asking for help, I'm assuming you're doing fine, okay? All right, so I have a key to this linked in the slides. Here's the only downfall of my key. This is one of the rare keys that I didn't show any work, and I don't know why. I swear I have another key where I did show all the work, but I can't find it right this second. So right now, all you can see are the answers, okay? So after class, I'll make sure that's linked. And if you didn't get that answer and you need more info, just shoot me a message and I can help you, okay? And I'll look for that other key, and if I find it, I will link it in here, okay? But I think some of you are finding you still like the formulas better than the TVM solver. And some of you are like, oh, I don't know who that person is because I love the TVM solver. So I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I can do it both ways. Okay. So that being said, you have practice due tonight, more practice. Make sure you get it done. You have your PF6 reading quiz that's due tonight. Your mini lesson for PF6 isn't due until tomorrow. And then your more practice is due on Friday, okay? I do have an extra ticket. It's a little bit long. There's 2 questions. pay attention because one of them says simple interest and one of them says compound interest. So make sure you use the appropriate formula, okay? So there it is in the chat. I know that time is quick. You only have 2 minutes. So if you don't have time to finish your exit ticket while you're in here with Zoom, just make sure you do it right after class because I know some of you have another class coming up, okay? I'll stay here for a minute, but don't forget to do your exit ticket. All right, great day. You guys did good work.
Where did you say the answer key was for the ones that we just did? Or how can we check our answers?
It's going to be in the slides, and I'll post the slides right after class.
Okay.
Okay. I can put it in the chat right now, too. Hold on one sec. I will put it in the chat right now, Judith. There you go.